So it's been about 3 months or 4 months since I pivoted my YouTube channel to focus on preparing the world for the potential of a second Trump presidency, essentially letting people know the way that his administration managed things during his first term and to try to avoid a second term. Now, obviously, my efforts failed, and I don't want to get into the details on how we wound up with another one presidency, but 47. I'm going to refer to him only as 47. But here's an update as to how this channel's going, what I've learned so far, what I'm going to do, whether I'm going to continue with this pivot or not. If you're interested in that, stay tuned. I feel like I owe you, especially those of you who chose to follow this channel for something else, because before I did this, I had several iterations. I was doing Pinterest marketing. At some point, I did YouTube growth, and I landed on content creator legal using my background as an attorney and a journalist and someone who's worked in PR and as a content creator, blogger, blah, 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 that I can use my experience and my background to help you all understand and decode the laws related to the creator economy. And I only pivoted last September because I found that too many people were unaware and about to throw away their lives and their votes and vote for Donald Trump. And I did have some people who told me, thank you for this information. I'm going to share it. I've actually had some people who changed and pivoted. So it was successful. When I decided after he won in November that I was going to go back to what I was doing before, and enough people, I polled some folks on TikTok, said, no, continue doing this. We need this information. And so I've gotten that validation. I've grown a nice little community here. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to put the screenshots of some of my, I love you guys, the people who comment on my videos, who also defend me against the Trump trolls. I'm going to talk about in a second on this channel. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And keep going and keep riding with your girl. So that's the update for the most part. All so far so good. I have done this, sharing this content not just on YouTube but also on TikTok, if you're watching this on TikTok, and also on Threads. For the most part, yeah, good affirmation. I did get some pushback from one of the members of 92 percenters. If you don't know what that is, 92% of the black women in America voted for Kamala Harris. So a lot of us 92 percenters decided, you know what, we're tired of saving the world. We thought y'all would ride with us, and you didn't deliver Kamala. And so a lot of people are like, we're checking out peace. So I got one person who said, hey, we all decided collectively we're checking out, and you're a scab. You're helping people, so I can't follow you. So that was an interesting take, but I understand that. I respect it. You don't have to. I understand, because a lot of people, and I respect people who just like, we've put out our labor so much that people don't take it for granted, want us to give free labor, free educations, to help uplift people, to lead. But then when it comes to paying us or compensating for our labor or time, whether in kind, whether in payment, whether in support, we just don't get it. And we're abandoned every single time. Totally get it. But I take a different approach in that I feel like I don't want to give up. I feel like it's short-sighted a little bit, in my opinion. I feel like in 2 years, we can retake the House and the Senate, and there's possibility you don't know what's going to happen. The way things have worked in this past few years since that man entered into the realm, nothing has been normal, and I don't anticipate things to be normal, and nothing has been normal for the past few years. We've had all these planes falling out the sky. We've had all these weird events with the drones and the weird threats, and then the I don't want to use that word, but the offing of, people, the ousting of Democratic leader in South Korea. And then you had just so much stuff, so much turmoil, political turmoil, violence, all sorts of stuff. Not that this hasn't happened before, but just the culmination and all of it together. It's just the conflation of different events. And it just seems like you just don't know. So I don't want to just opt out of life, opt out of political life just because of we don't like it, take our ball and go home. I feel like there's opportunity here, and I feel like I'm serving a purpose. And I love the community. Like I said, I've grown here on other platforms, and that's encouraging me. One thing I do want to say about the YouTube algorithm, as you're watching on YouTube compared to the TikTok and Threads algorithm. So the difference between the YouTube, TikTok, and Threads algorithm, I find TikToks and Threads found people. So when I look at my analytical data of the people who follow me on and engage with my content on those other two platforms, they are left-leaning, they're liberals. The channels that they watch or accounts that they watch similar to mine are Democratic and left-leaning. So when I post something, it's really affirming people, and that's great. That's encouraging. You continue to go. I catch a couple of strays here and there on TikTok, which is fine because TikTok is going to TikTok. And then I use some of their the comments from the strays to reply back and do another post. That's been great. On YouTube, though, I found because Charlie Kirk from Turning Point USA, they turned out so many youth voters into Trumpers and MAGAs, and the TikTok algorithm is flipped on its head. It's more like the Shorts algorithm is more like the TikTok algorithm used to be. I see a lot of dance videos. I find it's more youthful. I see more trends over here on YouTube. And so whenever I try to get more eyeballs on my long form content by taking snippets of shorts or just do shorts in this content, I draw the ire of all sorts of pro-MAGA, pro-Trump accounts. A lot of them, some of them bots, but a lot of them actual people, but really them really useful people. And this is a lot of pushback. And the only negative part about that is that they will downvote my video and they'll say a lot of things. I'll go into the unknown filter box and there'll be so much hateful things. So there are a lot of them are just like, it's really bad and it could be demoralizing. I just don't take it on, but sometimes I find myself draining to fight with them. Early on, I decided to just block them and just don't worry about it, engage. And sometimes I engage with them, sometimes I don't. I find that they get easily triggered by just facts. Like, even if I'm not editorializing, meaning like I'm not putting my spin on something, I just state a series of facts, they get upset by facts. And I find like one of the things I criticized early on, I said that those folks don't really know what they bought into. Like, they don't understand. Right after Trump won, some of them were questioning like, oh, is my healthcare going to go away? And oh, I have an individual independent education program for my kid. Is that going to go away? Like, people didn't do their research. They didn't really know what they're buying into. They treated it more like a game. Like, we're on Team Trump and yay, rah, rah, rah. And, Trump gave them a few talking points and they repeat them. But when you come in with the nuance, when, all these other details are coming out and they're seeing it and they don't like what they're seeing and they're just like, you're lying, or they're defending it, like the original traditional MAGA, who, like, if you've ever seen, like, who does Stephen Colbert makes fun of them, they really just don't know much. Donald Trump got them from the politically agnostic world what they were living in, where they weren't really politically active, but he sold them things and they bought into him, they worship him. Same with the new people, but they really just don't know much about the politics. And when you grill them further down into their morals and ethics and what they value, a lot of it aligns with other parties like Kamala or some other people. Like, they're not really true MAGA or Trump. They're not really down with Trump. When they realize what he's doing, they don't like it, but they already bought in. They're already Team Trump, so they feel like they have to defend it. And that's what happened with the true MAGA and then the new MAGA, these young MAGA. They're like defending it, and when I push back on them, they really don't have a leg to stand on, because the reason why they support him were like for superficial, shallow reasons, and then they feel like they're bought in, and then they're just like, and it's exercising futility. That's why sometimes I'll go back and forth with y'all, and I'll just block. And I thought YouTube would actually do what TikTok and Threads did, and just send my content to left-leaning folks. Like, I know they exist because YouTube's sending me their content. I see their videos and I'm commenting on the videos. Maybe I need to do more of that and siphon off some of their subscribers. And so I see there is a platform, there is a space there for me, but I'm not getting them. I'm just like in this limbo period, but it's okay. So I appreciate the people, the community I've built. I'll just keep showing up because there's so much to talk about. Oh my God. I don't even know where to begin with. I wasn't trying to make this video long, but this is really just a check-in from just talking about just the cabinets. I've done enough posts on the cabinets, to the, Elon Musk fight with the MAGA, with the, then you have the recent speaker fight, and Donald Trump's fighting everybody and all his plans, and just like, it's just so much. It's just so much. And it's just so much dissension. It's a lot. So, all that said, I'm going to continue doing this. It's just a check-in. I was trying to decide whether or not I will take the clickbait, and I was looking at another podcast, a liberal podcast, and one person, they were doing resolutions, and one of the podcasters in that cruise said that he was not going to do any more rage bait. And I was like, nah, I don't mind the rage bait. I think what I'm going to try to do more is just present facts as is. People don't like facts, and let them leave their own conclusions. And folks who don't like the facts will comment and say something like, so, and it's kind of like, so what I posted is a period. I said what I said, period. Like, what are you telling me so for? Like, you seen it, you don't like it, and so what? That's the end of it. If there's more, you can do your own video, respond, but don't come back and tell me so. Like, what? Weird. But it all goes back to, there's a lot of misinformed, uninformed, confusion. It's just right now, everything is just in a mess. Like, everything is confusing. But I'm going to stick with it. We'll see. So I'm finishing this up in the car just to let you know. So 3 videos is coming down the pike. One, how Joe Biden helped us throughout his terms and what he's doing to protect us this last few weeks to protect us from Donald Trump. The second thing is immigrants and all the value to immigrant labor. There's undervaluing of the way they help us. And the third video is Lotus will be POTUS, why I think Kamala Harris should run again in 2028 and why she will eventually be POTUS. That's going to piss off a lot of people. So those are 3 videos that are coming down the pike. Another thing I want you to know that I'm going to change the format rather than just it takes me, when I do heavily edited videos, it takes a long time. By the time I produce the video, the topic is done. This is going to be fast moving administration, a lot of stuff, a lot of topics. So I think what I'm going to do is as I see something that's going down the pike, I'll just take visual notes and I'll screen record what I'm going through as I'm taking my notes, and then I'll replay my notes with me talking about my notes, and so giving you my blow by blow. And what I think I'm going to do is just make it facts. When I see factual information that's going down, that's the impact of it, I'm going to just come on here and say, hey, this what happened during Trump administration. I'm keeping up with this, so you don't hear the facts. I'm going to lay the facts based on things that he said, things that's reported that he said, or stuff that he's already released. So there's no attacking me for presenting facts. I find a lot of MAGA do not like the presentation of facts, and they dispute the facts because they just don't like what the facts say. But the facts are the facts. After I relay the facts, I'm going to say, here are my opinion on the facts. Now let's discuss below. So if you're interested in that sort of stuff, subscribe to my channel because that'd be an easier way for me to participate. I see there are a lot of left-leaning channels. I get their feed once in a while, but there's very few people that look like me. And people have told me, like, you're refreshing because you're different from folks who are out there. And I'm gonna provide a perspective from my vantage point, from my experience. And so if you're interested in that vantage point and you think other people might be interested, do that. So that's what I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to show up. And I think that'd be a better way for me to show up more regularly by doing that versus the heavily edited stuff. As time goes on, I may throw in a heavily edited video once in a while, but I think that's the best, easiest way for me to just show up is just screen record notes, put on the side, and just give my feedback from that perspective. Yes. Anyway, so thanks for working that through with me. So yes, that's what's coming down the pike. That's the new format that I'm going to be going with. And I think that's it. Yeah. So yeah, we'll share this video, share this channel. I'm going to stick with it. I'm not going to pivot off, but I'm going to be more intentional. And yeah, because people don't like the facts. So I'm just going to here's the facts. And I think that's going to be my thing. Like, here's the facts of what's going on right now. Let's go over the facts and then let's discuss. Yeah. And then then after a while, we'll see where it goes from there. So anyway, thank you for checking in, for this check-in. Again, thank you for all. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting this channel and the work that I do here. And you can support it further by purchasing a companion document that I created at outlasting47.com. And it's 47, the 47th president. Like I said in the beginning, I'm not going to be using those words because I'm in denial. And it's not election denialism. It's just like rejectionism, if that's a word. Anyway, and I'm going to update it today to include 2 trackers. One, a tracker for the 6 people who wouldn't pass the FBI background check. There's more of them, but 6 of them. So we're going to do a bingo check. As they undergo Senate confirmation hearings and may be withdrawn or may lose, we'll keep track of them. And I'm also going to track it with 4 or 5 priorities that I feel like Donald Trump has already said on day 1 or day 2 or the first 100 days he's going to attack. So let's monitor those things. So I'm going to update them with Trump's priorities and then the trackers. And so, yeah, so it's a living working document. You pay $7.99 for it once, and that's it. As each time I update it, you'll get the new updates. Like the people who already purchased it are going to get the new bingo card, is going to get the updates. And it's a way to support my work here because I don't know to what extent that I'll be able to get, opportunities for sponsors or ads because a lot of brands don't want to have their ads on political content. And to the extent that I have a lot of MAGA downgrading and coming up and showing they're doing things to suppress my videos to stop more people from seeing it. So if you think that when I'm having the value that I'm sharing here is valuable to you and to your life and it's going to help people, the way you can support me is sharing my videos out more beyond, purchasing outlasting47.com, subscribing yourself. I'm going to do a membership at some point where I'm going to just do members only chat. And I'm going to do that. And then, so yeah, that's how you can support the work that I do here so we can survive, outlast 47 together. And yes, I'll do the work that you don't have to. This version of this ending video is this is foggy right here. I don't like that. I might have to edit that out. Edit out this light. Yeah, that's how to. All right. Anyway, thanks. Thanks again so much for